That would be Nancy Tiffany
right,
in the second
with
row.
the cap on?
Oh, it could be, that could very well be.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Greg?
Is that Pete Cologne with the cap on, or
Far right.
on the front, or the second one in from the
This
far
here?
right? Yeah.
No, no.
Looks like Lance.
One of the pictures she sent me where the pain grow is, and I don't know if I was able to get that into here.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now, which Harwood is this, Uncle Ted? I thought it was Mickey, but I'm not sure.
Well, I think that it could be Mickey.
No, this here, this is Ellen Ponder. That's Mary Ross. There's Mary Marlowe, Janine Ponder, Jill, and Barb. Barb, is Barb here tonight or not? No?
And here's these are all auxiliary members, I believe, leading their group in.
One of the things about the parade you see here, every 4 years it used to be that the county parade for Hamlin County went to a different town. And this year Inlet hosted that, and it was a big deal. It really was, it was a real big deal. And it was a good fundraiser for the Legion, and instilled a lot of pride with everybody, and it just worked out very, very well. And now it's not what it used to be, but the town is going to take the responsibility over now, because the Legion just doesn't, we can't do it. I mean, we're just to the point where we don't have the members to do it, our age is against us, so the town's picked up that responsibility. I don't know when the next Adele, is Adele here? No, okay. She would know when the next one. Now see, here's a picture of the parade here. It was a big deal, and it was really a nice thing for the community.
Yeah, this is the Covey Pashley Post, and that's the town of Webb Schools coming in. Scott's Inn in a good shot. Capitol Restaurant up here. There's the town of Webb School making it into the lot. It's the next door to the Wood Hotel. This is an award ceremony. I'm not sure. Were there annual awards to the school children?
Might have been, I'm not sure.
Yeah, the young girl is Beverly Chambers. This is Tom Thibodeau. This is Laura Kenwell, teacher.
She was one of those teachers too. It wasn't me, really, it was the teachers.
And we're still trying to find out who this darling is here.
That's the citizenship award.
Citizenship, is that what it is?
Thank you.
I know speaking of awards with us, our post, every year we hand out a stipend for any Inlet kid that graduates out of high school to go on to college. This year we handed out 3 of them this year for 3 Inlet kids. And every year we do that, all they have to do is write a little essay in regards to, you know, what their involvement in Inlet was, and you know, whatever, and we'll give them a check to help them along. And we've been doing that for how many years? You got any idea? Quite a few. Yeah. So.
This is Ted Harwood over here. You know any of these fine gentlemen? Ted?
You're up.
You want to look in the back of your picture?
This is Hollis Ross on the other side.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
All the fellows in between were either district officers or county officers. And we had gotten together for the district meeting, which encompassed several counties in the state. And so I didn't know those fellows really well, but I used to see them once a year when we had a meeting like that.
Looks like somebody's house.
It does. Yeah.
It was held in a restaurant somewhere where they had a nice fireplace, I guess.
Thank you. Thanks, Ted. Now, in 1964, Albert Ergren was one of those responsible for this first Inlet Memorial. That's still there today. And speaking of Albert, there he is there, out of uniform.
He was a World War I veteran.
Now, he appears in this 1960 photo of ceremonies for American Legion. He's over here on the side here.
Now I'm
And
gonna
you got him to
interrupt.
pose a little better.
Okay.
We go back.
No, I'm gonna interrupt right here, because Uncle Ted has a kind of a bio of Albert Ergen.
Yeah, I have memories of Albert because when I was in high school, I used to bump into Albert over at the Hall grocery store here occasionally. And Albert would question me about what subjects I was taking in high school. I was like 14 years old, 15 years old. And I mentioned I was taking French. From then on, he never would speak English to me. Nothing but French. And I'll tell you, he helped my education very, very good there. And but he used to deliver ice in town here and do various odd jobs around. And he was a caretaker at Camp Assisium over on 4th Lake. I don't know how many of you remember that. I bet you Joanne remembers that. But it was where
Steve Fighters, isn't it?
Steve Fodder's Motel is now.
I went there.
Marty, I went there.
Camp, you went to the camp?
Yep, when I was
Oh,
10.
great. Well, one day I went by there on my bicycle, and Albert was out there with his, looked like a baby carriage, but it was making noises like it had a motor running on it. And I slowed down and looked a little closer, and it was cutting grass. So he had taken a baby buggy, it looked like, and put a motor on it with a piece of spring on the bottom of it, sharpened up so that he could cut the heavy grass alongside the driveway going into Camp Assisium. And he through the help of the people that owned the place, the Catholic school or Catholic diocese, they got him a patent on it, a U.S. patent, as a rotary lawnmower. And I heard later on that he sold it for $1,500 to some manufacturer. But that's where we all got our rotary mowers. But Albert, I don't know for sure how he happened to come to Inlet to settle down. I've never found that out. But I found out while he was a member of this post, and I was a member, about his service during World War I. He served in France. He was awarded medals by 3 countries, the United States, Great Britain, and France, for his service in France with the various units of those armies. And Albert was responsible for saving many lives as the war went through the villages of France, where he would go behind enemy lines and warn the natives, or the people living there, that they had to evacuate the village. That where the German army had set up their defenses. And so he would help them sneak out of the village at night, and before the shelling started the next morning. And of course he saved many lives, many French civilians, and also army fellows on all 3 of those armies, because they knew what they were coming up against, exactly where the defenses were in that town. And so I already mentioned his service, but he was a member of the Covey Passage Post and Old Forge, as well as this one in Inlet. And I have nothing more that I know about the man, but he was quite a man.
Thank you.
One other quick note with him. Before Mom and Dad bought the grocery store up here from my grandfather and grandmother, we used to live in the apartment above where Todd Morrow lives now. That's where Albert Ergen lived. And I don't even remember living there. I was only just a baby at the time. But we lived there for a few years. Greg, you had something?
Well, I was just remember the little village he had up on the hills.
Oh, yeah.
All the mechanical houses.
Yeah, he had right up on the side hill there. I remember there was like a little water wheel, and he had some other things there that were driven by the wind or whatever. Yeah. Mom told me that when I was a baby that they could never keep an alarm clock because it would go off and I'd open the window and throw it out to the window. But that was Greg, I'm sure.
What year did Albert pass?
What's that?
What year did Albert die?
I don't, do you know what year he died by any chance? No, I don't know. No, it's been a long time.
His son just passed away not too long ago.
Yeah, just recently, last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just this spring.
What we're looking at here is the parade we saw earlier has made it to Racket Lake. This is the Racket Lake train station restaurant that burned in 1972. And this is the placard that they had at Racket Lake. And this is a little close-up picture of it.
Every year when we do our dedication, we have a little thing here, lay a wreath, then we go up to Racket Lake and do the same up there. We do that every year.
Here's Philo Leonard and Vincent Mick. And this is the current version of that. It's in front of the library up there.
Quick story on that stone there, up in, that we have down here, not this one.
Okay.
I forgot to bring it up. Mom was an ardent fan of the Legion, very patriotic woman. One time, Bonnie Delmar, she had horses, and she had a horse and she had it tied up to the stone right here. Well, Mom saw that. Well, I'm going to tell you, Mother came down and went up one side of her and down the other. And she did not mix words whatsoever. That woman, I learned words I didn't even know. And poor Bonnie, she made sure that the horse was, because I think Mom would have got the gun and shot the horse.
And this is a little bit of Keith Behrman's service record. He was participated in the liberation of Paris, Belgium Bulge, Rhine, and Rural River crossings, and was wounded in Germany. He had to undergo paralysis treatments in his arms and legs. He has American and European theater ribbons with 2 battle stars and a Presidential Unit citation. This is a 1945 article when he came back. Here it is at a, I don't know, 1980 memorial maybe. Here's a gang at the Geese Diner.
Oh boy. Greg, is that Buzzy Norris in the middle, do you know?
Yeah, it's mostly.
It's Bruce Gribno, Bruce Caldwell,
Bruce Caldwell, Buzz Norris,
Ted Payne, Keith.
and Keith. That's a crowd in there.
Uncle Ted, do you know the significance of the color of the uniform? Buzzy has a maroon one on, is that anything you know?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay. Anybody know by any chance? No?
Is Mr. Norris that's in your unit now, or post now, related to him?
Yeah, father.
Okay. Maybe he can tell us.
Tommy, maybe you can say that.
This is a later parade, not 2005.
Carl Smith in between them.
Right here.
Yeah, right there.
Carl Smith, and way in the back is Searle, John Searle.
Back here, you mean?
Yep, the older gentleman on the left is John Searle.
What, I'm sorry, can you say the name again?
John Searle.
Thank you, I'm sorry.
I don't know.
That was Ted on the other side.
This is a 2010 parade. This is still the end of the gift shop, about to be Lutz's. That's a sign right there. And in 2016, the Legion Square was dedicated. And that's it right there. This is the placard right here. And back then we had pavers there.
On the pavers in front that we have now, we're getting quite a, well, there's a picture of them right there. We have more than that now, I'm sure. Name, rank, whatever you want to put on, what branch of service, that type of thing. We've had a lot of people that we don't even know, but that contributed to that. So that's a nice fundraiser for
It was
us.
actually this year, I just took this.
Oh, this year? Okay.
It's quite a few.
Okay. Mike, your name's there, isn't it? Did I see your name there?
My father.
Your father? Okay.
This is I think this year's Memorial Day wreath laying at Racket Lake, and there's the library. And this is Inlet. There's Holly, Paul. I think we're up to the end of the program, Gordie.
Really?
Got some more you want to give us?
Well, just a couple things, though, I just wanted to bring up. You know, everything's volunteer today, the fire department, ambulance corps, Legion, PTA, doesn't make any difference, but Scouts, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts. Everybody's looking for help. So if you go back home or even here, always looking for members. If you go back home, really, think about volunteering for some organization because it'll give back tenfold, if not more. Again, I keep saying that I was involved with the Scouts for almost 20 years. I was a Scoutmaster for 17. And matter of fact, it was just here a month ago. One of my adult leaders and one of his kids was in the troop. They rode their motorcycles up here just to see me. Yeah, and they're from Syracuse. And I mean, just things like that. It comes back to you to you know, just pays you back, like I say, tenfold. So if you can do that, believe me, it's just a good thing that you could do. So with that, Uncle Ted, anything you want to bring up by any chance?
You've covered it very well, Gordie.
No, again, I hope so, but I thank everybody for coming. Oh, Adele, yeah.
Oh, you asked about the county parade?
The Halloween parade, yes.
The county parade.
Oh, county parade,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Hamilton County Memorial Day Parade rotates between 3 towns. This year it was in Indian Lake,
Okay,
next year it'll be in Long Lake,
okay,
and then it'll come back to Inlet.
okay. So 3 years then, we'll have it here.
I think this, go ahead.
Anybody got any questions about the Legion or what we do or anything at all? Really, we're off that easy? Okay.
I think this, by the way, I think this picture here is the Payne brothers.
Matter of fact, you're right, because Mary sent that today.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, I couldn't remember.
Ted is her father, and Adele, do you know which one that is, the other one?
I think that's a good guess. I think it's Dick Payne.
Dick? Okay.
Anyway, I just didn't get it in.
Yeah, no.
I was
We had Mary Marlowe, she's got a wealth of pictures and things, and she came up with these today that we incorporated as soon as we could, so that was a big help. Her father was Ted Payne. He was a past commander here for many years. So with that, I guess we'll wrap it up. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Uncle Ted, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. That's great.
No, I guess I'll do that on another one.